This episode's brought to you by Nectar. Nectar is a nootropic energy pouch that's designed for clean, fast-acting energy. Go to nectar.energy and use promo code Zackass. I mean, the only hole that it's good for LaCroix to go into is your mouth. And I've learned that the hard way.
You're doing some crazy shit with sparkling water, dude. I didn't even think of all this stuff.
Yeah. I've delved into sparkling water that you guys couldn't even comprehend.
True innovator.
Yeah. You know, but you have anything you want to plug?
Aside from your hole and sparkling water?
Oh, what are we talking about plugging here?
I ordered a gaming chair that was meant for heavier people. Yeah. But then it still wasn't as wide as I found some just outside of people's houses
all the time
that are like better than the ones that I actually pay a lot of money for.
But I think they're outside because they all end up sucking is what happens.
Yeah.
Because like mine, I thought it was like a good gaming chair, you know, and then I think it was like a good gaming chair for like a teenager. Then that shit snapped on me like immediately.
Gaming chairs have really evolved since like the beginning of gaming chairs.
They have, because
it used to just be a rocking chair, like the little like circular thing.
Yeah.
That was a gaming chair.
Oh yeah. I used to just take whatever we had at the dinner table, pull up and play some some StarCraft or some Counter-Strike or whatever.
Yeah, I remember having this one that was just sort of like a rocker, and then I would always just try to go as far back as I could and flip out of it. And,
yeah.
This was always fun.
You started, by the way. This is
cool.
it.
Oh,
You guys are
in
the podcast.
We're in it. We're
in here to start the show about gaming chairs, everyone.
Yeah. We're just talking about gaming chairs. Make sure you comment your favorite gaming chair brand in the comments, and I will consider maybe buying one.
I need a new one. Mine just broke, so that's for sure.
Make sure it's a cheap option, though. You don't want to break the bank.
Yeah.
So, how do you want me to introduce you?
I don't know, man.
Do you want me to say Dom?
Yeah, go by Dom, Dominic, whatever's fine.
Okay, cool. Wasn't sure. And how do you pronounce your last name, actually?
Hecht.
Hecht. Okay, cool. That's how I thought it was, but, names are tricky
Hetch sometimes. Hecht.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to say you're a stunt performer, actor? How do you want me to?
Yeah. Dom Hecht, actor, stunt performer. Overall, love being involved in films and filmmaking. So that's what kind of got my feet into the industry. And
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Dom Hecht.
Appreciate you.
Did I say that wrong?
That was it. You nailed that, honestly.
Okay, cool.
I'm going
to do it one more time just because,
Corbin, please leave this entire conversation.
I'm going to do that again just because I always fuck it up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Dom Hecht.
What's good?
He's a stuntman. He's a stunt performer. He's an actor. Filmmaker of sorts. He loves film. True. And we met on a film, and that's why he's here.
Yeah.
So, what's up?
Appreciate you having me, man. Good to see you again, dude. Last time we were up in Oakland, California, up in the Bay Area last time we saw each other, so it's cool to be here, dude. Man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Oh, yeah. So, how's everything been going? What have you been up to?
Good. Since you last saw me, that was probably, almost 3 years ago now. 2.5 years ago, probably, something like that. And since then, during that time, I was still actually living up in the Bay Area in San Jose, where I'm from. That's kind of how I got onto that setup in Oakland. And then after filming ended with Freaky Tales, I ended up packing my car up and driving down and figuring out the lavish life of Los Angeles, California. So I'm down here now, man.
Let me know when you figure that out, huh?
Yeah.
Still figuring it out.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. But that's awesome, though, dude. I'm happy you're down here. Happy you're working and doing stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
So when you were doing in Freaky Tales, when you were doing stunts and stuff, was that one of your first times doing stunts, or how did you get into actually doing that?
So my situation with Freaky Tales is kind of interesting, actually. So I was acting and doing stunts during those times, but I actually got into Freaky Tales through background work. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of brought into this interesting role where they called it a action extra.
Yeah.
And so I was working alongside the stunt team. and kind of like helping them out with previses, and then being someone who like, you know, there's those scenes with like the mosh pits and stuff. And I was kind of like a barrier between like the stunts in the background to make sure everyone is kind of safe. And I think initially I was only supposed to be on it for like a week or two, but I ended up working on it for like 2 months pretty much. And, and you know, me, whenever I get on these background things, I'm always trying to like, you know, get into the stunts and like, you know, get upgraded to the stunts and all that. So I'm always down to send it. So eventually I ended up sending it a little bit too, but it was a crazy situation for sure. I didn't expect it, but it turned out to be a really cool opportunity. Met a lot of amazing people, including yourself and all the other talented stunt performers that were in the movie. So it was cool.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any like martial arts background or any of that?
Yeah, that what is kind of how things started for me is when I was younger, I played sports, and then from there, probably around 6th, 7th grade, I was just like, all right, you know, the team sports thing is cool, but I got into boxing and around like 6th, 7th grade, and I was like, kind of like this a little bit more. Boxing led into wrestling, led into jiu-jitsu, led into Muay Thai, and then MMA, and kind of just started branching out from there, and that's what led into my first film opportunities, was doing like, you know, small little fight scenes for indie films and stuff like that. And that was how it got started for me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a martial arts background.
I've seen some kicks. I've done
some kicks. I was trying to do karate in the pool the other day, and
Pool karate's the best kind, honestly.
Yeah, I pulled my leg doing it.
It's supposed to be safe in the pool.
Yeah, much safer in the pool. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was not that safe. I think it was just 'cause I haven't kicked like that in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you ever seen those videos where like people, where it's like some instructor and he's like teaching you how to like take a gun out of somebody's hand and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Is that stuff even like possible? Like,
I mean,
they're realistic.
There's
you know?
like some usage to it, I guess you could say. You know, if a person with a gun is dumb enough to come and put it like right up to you and like look away and like, you know, be distracted or something like that.
They just like...
But I mean, the most intelligent thing to do if someone's got a gun is probably have a gun yourself, or just like get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be my advice.
Yeah. I always think those videos are so funny, and they're just like fucking like.
I will say the gun disarms in movies do look pretty cool though, but you know, you gotta be real close quarters for that to be effective in real life.
Did you ever go to like any? Did you ever like take any like stunt training like course? I see there's like stunt like there's like camps or like different courses and stuff.
Yeah, and there's some that are really good, and there's some that you should definitely avoid. I was fortunate to be introduced up in the Bay Area to a guy named Tony Vella with Bay Area Stunts. So I did some training up there. A lot of it for me though was just being a weirdo and having a punching bag in my backyard and a weight set and just like trying out different things and buying new fake weapons on Amazon and playing around with them in my backyard and flipping stuff around. And what's funny is like one of the first times like an actual like stunt stuff was like me and my brothers. I have me, 3 brothers and 2 stepbrothers, and we're all pretty close in age. And like what we used to do back in the day is we loved Jackass. And so like we'd go to like parks, we'd go to like hills and like get little sleds and go down mud hills and jump off playgrounds and stuff like that. So that would be like the real first time ever trying stuff like that. But and also in terms of training out here in LA, you know, this is the mecca for film. This is the mecca for stunts and acting and training. And there's a lot of great gyms here. I've been training at this place called Joining All Movement. By short, it goes by JAM. It's owned by like a bunch of coordinators where they hold some great classes. And then also another gym is called Tempest. It's a lot for parkour and for that stuff, but they have another side that does a lot of stunt training stuff too. So yeah, I've done some formal and informal stunt training type stuff. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten hurt doing any stunt stuff yet? Or
nothing like major hurts. I mean, obviously there's always bumps and bruises and all that type of stuff. Like recently I messed up my back pretty good, which normally I heal like pretty quick. But this one's just been like sticking around. But you know, just keep stretching, keep working it out. You know, I did have to like lay down for a week and be like, all right, no doing anything. Fuck. But luckily, I think this thing's plastic. Actually.
Yeah, you should knock somewhere else.
But
for sure.
Oh, here we go. But fortunately, nothing too crazy. Just the normal bumps and bruises that come with the job. So, yeah.
So, did you always want to do stunts, pretty much, or how did that like come about? Like, just like, were you more like trying to get into acting at first, and then it happened, or you wanted to do all of it, pretty much?
Yeah, no, the way it happened for me is obviously, first and foremost, I was just a massive fan of films. Like, I would just binge watch films like no other person. And I remember I worked my first job in like my young 20s, like my first like corporate job I'm talking about. And that ended after like a year of working there. And at that point, I was like, what have I like done with my life at all? And like, I'd never like left the country or anything like that. And I remember me and my buddy Mikey, we traveled out to Australia and we lived out there for like a little bit over 3 months. And then when I came back, I was kind of like in this area where like, all right, do I go back and get like a corporate job? Like, do I find like a passion, whatever? And I remember a friend put like a thing on like Facebook, my buddy Ryan, and he was just like, hey, we're looking for background people to like come like be a part of this film. He was like the camera operator on it and stuff. And so I showed up there and I met the director. And I just immediately told the director, I was like, hey, if you need anyone to be like shot and killed today or anything like that, like I would be totally down. And he was like, you know what, we might actually need someone for that. I was like, oh, cool. Like I'm super down to do that. And then like the day goes on, like I was just like background on, like this big like restaurant scene where like, you know, I was just like eating at one of the tables or something like that. And so a couple hours go by of filming and the guy just kind of goes, hey, who was that guy who said you wanted to get shot and killed? And I was like, right here. And he's like, all right, come over here. And it ended up being like this dining scene turns into like a shootout. And he was like, just run down there, get shot in your right shoulder and fall. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'm like wearing like a nice suit. I was like, hopefully it doesn't get messed up, but whatever, I'm gonna go for it. And I just took off, bang, take the fall. And then he's like, great, perfect, move it on. I was like, you want me to do it again? And he's like, you're good. And then he did like a little mini premiere for it at a local theater. And I saw it on the big screen. It was like maybe a second of the movie where it's like me, boom, fall. But like that really was what did it for me, is like that bug hit, you know? And then I was like, I want to do this more and more. And that same director, his name's Michael Fredinelli, a very talented filmmaker. He just makes a lot of movies, and he ended up just like being like, hey, I have another movie coming up where it's gonna be like a martial arts style movie with like fight scenes and stuff. And I was training MMA at the time mostly at American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. And he was like, do you think you can get a couple guys together to do like a fight scene? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And that was kind of how it really started, was that I ended up putting together some guys, putting together a fight scene, some choreo with some talented people. And then things just kind of went from there. And I started taking acting classes. He started giving me like a line or two in his movies. So I was like, all right, I should take this acting stuff more seriously. Started training acting up in the Bay Area, training stunts seriously. Other than just the fighting stuff, there's a lot of different types of stunts, you know, so I started training all that. And then that was kind of the beginnings of it for me, though. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. No,
yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yep. It was a good one.
Yeah, I want to get into like regular acting, but every time it's just like, dude, everyone wants me just to do stunts.
Yeah.
Not even like real stunts. It's more like, well, they are real, but they want me just to get hurt.
Yeah. No, yeah, like when I was younger, I was open to just like throwing it and stunning it and doing whatever and hurting myself and like being cool with it. But then at some point, it's like, you have to like figure out how to do it safely, you know? And then, but once you get like a name, like especially for your situation, like you get a name as like this guy who's down for whatever, wherever, anytime, then like you kind of like, you get cornered into that. So it's like, it is hard to like break through that. Like for me, people were like, oh, like you think you're a stunt guy now? Oh, you think you're an actor now? Oh, you think you're a filmmaker now? But like for me, it's just like, you just got to stop listening. Like, I also have friends where like we make our own content. So it's like you can kind of like rebrand yourself if you just like keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's what I would say to that, because Don't let them put you in one little box, okay? Come on now.
I'm like thinking outside of the bun, dude.
Yeah.
I'm outside of the fucking bun.
Get out of the box and don't let them hit you with the fucking box too. Keep going.
Unless they're paying you.
Yeah,
unless they're paying you. Good point.
Unless they're paying, then I will get hit with the box multiple times in a row.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in ghosts?
Do I believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Dang. I believe in a version of ghosts, I think I would say. You know?
Any like paranormal experiences and that? But you can also tell me your
version
of ghosts.
I definitely think like there's some type of dimensions out there. I don't know exactly how it works, you know, but I would say it's somewhere along those lines. I haven't had any like paranormal stuff with ghosts per se, but I definitely have seen some weird stuff in the skies. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I've seen I don't even know how to tell this story perfectly, but I remember there was an object in the sky that was moving erratically, and then it came and it sat directly above me, my brother, and my friend Jeff. And I remember we were sitting there, and this object was staying still directly above us. We couldn't tell what it was. And then I remember it did some like weird like figure 8 pattern, and we're like, maybe it's a helicopter. It can't be a plane because it was sitting still. And then it like kind of took off in the sky and then just went out of the atmosphere. It had like a little pulsating thing out of the atmosphere. So to this day, I have no idea what that was, unless it was some like crazy technology I don't know about.
Yeah,
but in terms of ghosts, there's definitely something out there. I can't explain it. Like I don't have like a definitive like this is what I think ghosts are.
Yeah.
But I definitely believe in like, you know, an afterlife and spirits, and I believe that we as humans aren't completely in touch with like what's around us. I think our senses are very limited, and that there's other things that we're not aware of. And but yeah, what do you think?
I definitely think there are ghosts and spirits and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess ultimately I think it would be like I think it's cooler if that's real.
Yeah.
Like, that would be cool.
Makes life a little more interesting.
Like, yeah, if there's like some sort of frequency to be on.
Yeah.
You know, that,
other
like,
than
some
like
people
we just die and just end up being dirt or something like that.
Yeah, no, that would suck. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
lame.
even. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, dude, I remember I was watching a movie recently, and like someone died in the movie, and I was like, dude, so like, I started like thinking like, dude, what really happens like after you die?
Yep.
And I was just like, dude, what am I doing right now?
I've gone down those paths.
I'm just
for
at
sure.
an AMC, like, I'm like really having.
You're like looking stuff up on your phone.
Yeah, I'm like having like a crisis right now, dude. Like,
Now thinking about death is scary. Like it honestly is. Like I always think about like what they do with your body after you die and stuff like that. It's like I don't know if like being buried in a box is like necessarily the best way to go about it. Like I've seen them talking about like turning people's bodies into like trees and like plants and stuff like that. I'm like, that seems to make a little more sense for like, I don't know, if that would be like some type of like reincarnation thing or something like that.
Yeah.
But like,
'Cause, I mean, I guess like then you're still like creating life somehow.
Yeah.
Like like they're still like, so I guess like that makes sense.
But
like,
the
in a
big
way.
question is what happens to our spirit, you know, what happens to our consciousness. But
yeah, I don't know, dude. Like,
that's about
it's
my
like, do you
pay
wake up just like in another, you're just like being born again? Like, you know what I mean?
There's a slug all
it's
over.
just like it's just like, oh great, I'm a fucking
start at the bottom of the ecosystem.
Dude. Yeah. Like that would suck.
If you figure that out, let me know though, because
yeah, I don't know, dude. That shit's scary.
It is scary. It is. Like, no, I
get.
get tripped up thinking about it too. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like, is everything we're doing just pointless? And then like,
So wait, so it's like then everything's just done. Like, you know,
it's over.
Like, that's it.
It just turns
like,
off.
There's no like end credit scene or anything. There's no redo. Like fuck, dude.
There's definitely no sequel. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, dude. There's a reboot maybe, but like, dude, they make a lot of reboots nowadays. Like that's like a thing.
Oh, that's definitely the thing these days, and I think people are getting a little bit tired of it. You know, of reusing the same IPs and redoing them and stuff like that. I think. Like the movie Sinners that just came out. I know a lot of people were fans of that because it's kind of like an original screenplay, original type stuff. So my hopes is that it goes back towards that. I mean, I do like remakes too, you know, because it's cool. Yeah. It's cool to retell a story in a different time and a different place. But when you know what's gonna happen, it kind of spoils things too, in terms of like watching the movie. So that's why I think it's good if we can go back towards, you know, original screenplays and stuff like that. That's my opinion. But
yeah, no, 100%. Like, I mean, like, because they usually just make comedies of, like, and just movies in general, it's about random ass things.
Yeah.
Like, it could be about anything, and then, like, like now if you pitch that, they would be like, but where's the IP?
Yeah. Where's it going to show us that this many amount of people are going to go watch this movie?
It's like, we're going to make a movie about a candy bar or, like, a fucking game board, like a board game or something.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's got to be Jumanji 5 or 6 or something like that. Yep.
Yeah, sponsored by Butterfinger or something. Like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, it's weird. Like,
comedies especially are like, there's not as, like, I feel like back in the 2000s, like maybe even the later 90s, comedies were like bangers all the time.
They were cooking, dude.
Yeah, they were all the time. And like, how did that fall off? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, I think there was a lot of them that, like, a lot of them did well, I think, theatrically, and then, but also a lot of those comedies, like, they did even better with DVD sales and stuff. And then I think once there's no, like, residual income and all that kind of, there's not as much profit to be made for like after streaming happened.
Yep.
You know, I feel like they're just like, oh, like this isn't actually as profitable as it used to be.
Yep.
And they're just like, yeah, we're not gonna make these anymore.
Especially because like comedy movies, I think they are better. Like you can enjoy them in a theater and at home, whereas some movies now it's like you can only enjoy in a theater. Some movies they're like, okay, I can watch that one at home. I don't need to go to the theaters.
Yeah.
So I think that's been a big problem too, is that not as many people are going to the theaters per se, you know, and mostly are waiting for it to come to streaming. Or I mean, most people I know these days are just illegally streaming like every movie they watch. So that makes it really hard to track. But yeah, it's interesting. I know that's one of the big things with like the new contracts that came out is people figuring out, you know, how, because a lot of the people, the OG people from the industry, they live off their residuals. That's their retirement, you know, and now people don't have that. And it's like, okay, like if I work as an actor, a stunt performer, I mean, stunt performer, you even have less years amount of time you can work. But like once that work finishes, what do you have after that in terms of like retirement and money and all that stuff? So the streaming services are gonna have to be a little bit more transparent with like how much they're earning and stuff like that. And we'll see where the streaming services go, because in my opinion, there's way too many of them now. And so it's like, how's that gonna pan out?
There's so many, dude.
Yeah, it's like we're almost back to TV now, because there's 50 different services you have to pay for.
Literally, it's more expensive actually. I'm pretty sure if you have all the services without ads. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing. Like it used to be you buy a streaming app and then like there's no ads. But now there's
like,
ads.
Like, oh yeah, wait, we're making tons of money, but also we should be making more. So let's put in the ads too.
That's what happened. Like, and then if they don't want the ads, they pay this month much more.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this month we're changing the price of it, guys.
Like, yeah. They don't really tell you to. They just kind of
they just change.
You just see it on your next bill type of thing.
Yeah. There's never an actual like update. I mean, I've seen it sometimes, but you know. The film industry is in a weird place right now.
Yep, it definitely is.
And now a brief word from our sponsor. So let me tell you guys about Nectar. So I used to drink way too many energy drinks, and I would crash. It wouldn't be good, and it would be hard to get through the day. But I recently switched to Nectar, and boy, does it work. Nectar is cognizant in caffeine, and it's just in a little pouch. And cognizant is pretty much food for your brain, and if you're like me, I've been hitting the head too many times, and I need the food for my brain. Like, I literally need the cognizant right now to be doing this ad read, and just to do this podcast. It helps me lock in, it helps me get through the day, and I've noticed a change in my life. I personally like Atomic Apple, but they've got all kinds of flavors. Make sure you give them a try. Go to nectar.energy and use promo code Zackass, and let me know which flavor you like in the comments. That's nectar.energy, and make sure to use promo code Zackass.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like I said earlier, it's like I'm trying to figure out and navigate this crazy world too, and you just kind of have to be adaptable to everything that's happening, you know, and for me, I feel like the benefit of what I went through in my film experience is that I was up in the Bay Area for the first 7-8 years of my career, which the ceiling there is very low because there's not that much going on there, you know, and a lot of the films that would come to the Bay Area, we would get like the leftover like background roles or like, you know, everything gets casted out of like LA or Atlanta or wherever, you know, the production's based out of. But so what I had to learn was like just to like make films myself, and with that is like building a team and like a network of friends. And so the first thing that I got lucky on when moving to LA is I connected up with a bunch of people that are like go-getter indie filmmakers. And like for me, it's like, I love it because we just go out and make our own content, and we're all like improving and getting better at our different skill sets in terms of like where on the crew or cast we are. So I'm hoping that like the industry shifts more towards like the indie filmmaking side, the original screenplays we were talking about, that type of stuff. Because I do think the audience is kind of getting tired of like the big productions and like the same stories and all that. But like I said, there's no telling where anything's gonna go. Like,
like I definitely want to see like more original stuff. Like I mean, like I don't know how many times I can like. Dude, I'm like sort of over superhero movies at the moment. Like, I really am. Like, unless you want to cast me as a superhero, I'm into them.
Hell yeah.
Or like a villain or something. But I don't know. Or like maybe it's the sidekick that's like kind of funny and then dies. Like, that would be cool. Like, I'd be down for that.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
No,
or if you want to cast me as someone that just dies in your movie, I will do that.
Easy.
Yeah.
That was how I first started pitching myself. Like, I was literally like, you need a guy to die in your movie? I'm down. Like, that's what I would tell everyone that I would meet that was involved in film. And it got me a couple early roles for sure. So when they know you're down, it's easier. Superhero movies are interesting though, for sure. Like,
yeah.
I like a lot of them, and then I think there's a lot of that are kind of ass and dog, and it's a lot more of the recent ones. But I mean, we'll see. Like I think a lot of the new DC ones. I just saw the trailer for like the new Superman.
Yeah, that looks cool.
That one looks pretty cool. Yeah,
that actually looks good.
And it's like they just have to find a new way of telling the same story, which can be difficult, I think. And then also they have to like stick to like the original stories, otherwise like fans will get pissed off.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you cast the wrong person, dude, they'll freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep. But yeah, it's superhero ones are an interesting one. I think people are tired of like the CG. I do think action has taken over and bring like real stunt and fights and like gritty stuff. Like I think when the John Wick series happened, that kind of opened up the doors for like the action genre again.
Yeah.
Like, cause that took it away from like everything just being CG fights and battles and, you know, blasters and all that stuff, which is cool and it has its place. But I think people like more of like the real stuff. So
oh yeah, real is always better. Also, like just practical effects in general are cool.
Yep.
I mean, like I don't know if we should be doing practical gun effects right now, but like,
yeah.
Just, you know, there's a lot of
there's not really much
stuff.
of a need to anymore.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of iffy shit with that. But
yeah, and it's so easy to fake now. Like
yeah.
Aside from I like putting like the airsoft in the guns because then it spits out nothing, just air, and then you don't have to CG that effect as much. But even if you don't use like the airsoft stuff, like you can still just like CG the muzzle flash or whatever, and it works just as well. Of like using a blank. Like you don't need to use a blank anymore. Like you really don't.
Yeah.
And I think most don't these days. So yeah.
Dude. Yeah, what's one of your favorite movies from when you were a kid?
My favorite movie all time consistently since like the 90s was The Boondock Saints.
Oh, great movie.
That movie for me, like I remember my brother like came back from college and he had that movie, and it was before like it blew up and like the cult, like it became like a cult movie is what happened.
Yeah.
And I remember I like watched it on like his laptop back in the day, and I just remember like just being locked into it, just like holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to a Blockbuster and I found like the DVD of it, and I bought that DVD, and I took that DVD and I handed it out to like every single one of my friends at school, and I was like, you have to watch this movie, you have to watch this movie, you have to watch this movie. But that movie for me, like Norman Reedus, Sean Patrick Flannery, David Della Rocco, like those guys, like I just like loved those characters and like that story, and it was a gritty movie, you know, and like but it was like a really cool story, and yeah, that's probably my number one. Yeah, still all time for me. Yeah,
it's a classic.
Yeah,
for sure.
What about you? What's your favorite
movie? Favorite movie? I mean, like, dude, like one of my favorite movies as a kid was Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah,
like anything with Chris Farley, just because of how like fit, like it was so fun, dude. He's so funny. Like everything that he would do was hilarious, and like how physical he would get, and like fucking Black. I mean, I also like Black Sheep isn't as good as Tommy Boy. But the scene where he's like falling down the hill is hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. Those are so classics. Funny. Chris Farley, David Spade.
Yeah.
They were out here making a movie, or David Spade was making a movie out here with Theo Vaughn, I saw.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's what I saw,
was it Bus Boys or something like that?
Yeah, I'm excited to see that, actually.
Me too.
There's a bunch of comedians that I know. It looks like there's a bunch of comedians I know that are in it and stuff, so it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, that looks super cool.
I always like that when they like, I don't know, when you're making just tons of like really funny people.
Yeah. I got pitched to stunt double Theo Vaughn, but I didn't end up getting it.
Yeah,
but I was hoping for it so bad. They submitted my profile, my name, and everything, and they went with someone who probably looked more like him, which is fair. But like for me, I was like, man, I'd want to be on that set so bad. Like,
yeah, that would have been awesome.
I'm sure that's a fun one. Yeah,
that would have been great.
Legend.
That would have been sick. So, can you help me come up with a name for a ghost hunting show?
Wow. Come up with a name for a ghost hunting show.
Let's try to riff, I guess, here for a second.
Yeah.
This isn't something I normally do.
But... No. This is good. Use AI. AI will help you figure it out in like 10 seconds.
That's what everyone fucking does, dude. and it keeps giving us the same fucking stupid names. I tried, and it's just not good enough.
Yeah. You're going to be like the host of the show, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You got to incorporate your name into like the ghost hunting thing too, or something like that.
Something like that, or like just a crew of Jackass like people that are ghost hunting.
That'd be sick.
Maybe.
Yeah.
For this specific version, I'm doing I'm gonna end up. Yeah. So
is that what you're gonna do? That you're gonna do a ghost hunting show?
Yeah. I mean, we have a ghost hunting. I'm dropping a ghost hunting YouTube video.
Oh hell yeah!
With a bunch of the homies, and we go ghost hunting. And
here's the only rule though: you can't do any of the fake stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the ghost hunting shows.
Oh yeah, no, we
me.
didn't do anything fake at all.
Yeah, like no like fake like little voice recorder things.
That's
or
one
anything.
thing that I really we're never gonna do, because it's like we went there and we got a bunch of good results just without even without having to embellish on anything. You know, really.
Did you use some of like the ghost hunting like gizmos?
Yeah. We had the Ovulus, which is like it goes off environmental changes, and it can like talk. The spirits can talk to you.
Oh dang.
And stuff. We had that. We had we did like EVP. We did EMF. We also had like the radar gun.
And so what do? You like
too, right?
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
what was the other? What was that
REM
one?
pod.
Yeah, the
That's what
REM
it's
pod.
called. REM pod.
The REM pod. We had a lot of we had some good reactions with the REM pod, which is like it'll like light up if like there's something like some sort of spirit thing.
So do you like go to a cemetery or like an area that knows like?
We went to for this one. I've been to a couple different places around LA that are supposedly haunted.
Yeah.
One of them was like this bridge that was like that a bunch of people have unalived themselves on.
Yeah.
And like that place was super active actually. But for this specific video, we went to a haunted like black box theater.
Damn.
Where I think it was the owner of the theater.
What's a black box theater?
It's just like a little theater that like people they do like theatrical
it's
runs
like,
in.
It's literally a room painted black.
Oh shit.
And like they never bring a set in there for their shows. It's all like imagination. A lot of experimental theater and shit happens there.
Yeah.
But it was the manager, not the owner. The owner, his name is Zombie Joe, but the manager he had there passed very recently when we went.
Dang.
Yeah. And like we heard his name like multiple times, and like they told me
like you heard it like just like in the area or like through your devices.
Like through the devices.
Through the devices.
That's crazy.
Like Zach would ask a question, or he'd be like, "Is this so and so?" And it would
imply,
we
we also used a Ouija board too, and then
that's scary.
The Ouija board one was scary. I thought
that was pretty scary, and then like and we were just like we were just seeing what would happen. Like, is this place really haunted?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's ever an opportunity to tag along, I'm down to find. I'm down to find out some truths. I'm down. I'm not scared to find out the truth. That sounds
I just
sick.
found a new place for us too, by the way.
Yeah,
really?
That show I did on Friday at that mortuary place in Pasadena.
Oh yeah.
So it was originally the Lamb Family Mortuary,
Yeah.
where in the 80s the guy that owned it he went to jail. He just got out of jail because he was like cremating a ton of bodies like on top of each other, and like just to make more profit, he was like throwing bodies together. He was burying bodies.
Capitalism,
It
baby.
was wild. Everything was unsanitary and fucked up. Anyway, it was closed for a while.
Yeah.
Now it's reopened as an escape room.
Okay.
And they all.
I thought like he's starting it back up. Like,
no. That would be amazing, though.
You
Holy
have to have
shit.
a license.
He's like, I
for
promise
that?
one
Like,
person at a time.
Just
I
one
guess
this time.
I guess he probably like lost his license or whatever.
Yeah. Very
Like
much so.
I don't know if that's a like. Can
I'm
you
sure
get,
his Yelp page isn't looking too good.
Not
right
looking
now.
great at all, honestly.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna reinstate it. It's fine.
It's pretty fucked up though. You should check out that story. But it is an escape room, and it is mortuary themed now, and they do like stand up shows and shit there also.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
He's
and
just
haunted.
like, he's just in court, like they're dead.
Like, what does it matter?
What's the big deal, huh? They're not
I don't know why he's Italian.
I don't know
all of a
why
sudden.
either.
Who gives a shit?
He's just eating a meatball.
Yeah, wait. Why did this guy become Italian? Is he Italian already? Like, do we know he's Italian?
I'm gonna say he is Italian for the sake of this story.
That's crazy.
Dude, I had a good meatball sandwich the other day.
Hell yeah.
Joking,
Send me the spot, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that was okay. So you also made a good meatball sandwich yesterday, but then I also had a meatball sandwich from it was Pinocchio's, right? It was like Monte Carlo.
Pinocchio's.
Yeah, Pinocchio's in Burbank. That was amazing.
Gotta check this out.
Yeah, no, it was
I was
great.
used to meatball marinara from Subway or something like that. That's all I've ever had.
Yeah, no, this was fire. It was great.
Highly
fan.
recommend Pinocchio if you've never.
Also,
been.
if you're into Phillies, Philly Boys, that place is amazing.
Philly Boys is that
Boys.
stand, right?
Yeah,
that you
Philly
told me
Boys
about?
is a stand.
Yeah.
It's in a parking lot.
Yeah.
But
shit.
it's the best Philly that I've had in LA for sure.
I love Phillies. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's
Philly Boys.
Yeah, Philly Boys with
Check that out.
with a Z. Yeah.
That's how you know it's good, honestly,
Yeah.
with the Z.
And they do like they do the cheese whiz, they do all that stuff. Like it's fire. And they apparently they fly in the bread. Like I don't know if they fly it in, but like they get the bread.
They get the bread from the East Coast.
Yeah, from the East Coast.
Because
the
the
real
water
deal
makes it
then.
different. Bro.
Yeah,
From
so-
Philly.
From Philly, they're
better be.
flying it.
That's how I know like the good taquerias in LA. Honestly, is
Yeah.
all the ones that are on like the side of the road and stuff like that are all like really good. There's one called
Oh
like
yeah,
Angel's Tacos in Van Nuys. That place is fire. You just like
Yeah.
pull up in a little parking lot, hop out right there on the street. Hope you don't get hit by a car. Get yourself a burrito, dip out. But it's,
Honestly, that's the best kind of food place. That's
That's
how
what
you
I'm
know
saying.
the quality is
Yeah.
good.
yeah. Their overhead costs are lower, so usually the food is a little cheaper too. So.
yeah. No, those are always the best, dude.
Yeah.
I love street food. Not food that's on the street, like
Thank you for
on the
clarifying.
ground,
Very much appreciate
but
that.
food that is at a thing.
At a reasonable price street cart.
Little
Yeah,
tent,
a street
little tent
cart
above
or
it.
a tent or a table. Like I'm there. So okay, let's get into let's try to riff on this. So
Let's start the
Let's think-
podcast.
yeah, let's actually. Can
This
we-
is it. This
How
is
about
it.
we just start over and we just act like this? Just remember everything you did,
Yeah.
and I'm
Try, run it back.
and
Run it
we'll
back, run it back.
really
reverse.
quick.
I got
So-
it.
Make sure you ask him how he wants to be introduced again.
Yeah,
though.
how do
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to be introduced?
Wait. How do I say my last name? I want to hear that one.
Hacked.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
You
that
got
was it. That was it.
That's
Good,
it.
good,
That's it.
Hacked. Okay, ghost show name though. Okay,
Yeah, let me try to think.
I keep wanting to say ghost fuckers, but that's a stupid name.
That is a stupid name. Especially because you're not having sex with any of the ghosts.
I was like,
But it would be
this show
so.
just took a turn.
It would be so funny, dude.
Your goal's to
It's
fuck a ghost?
Ghost fucker. If there's a ghost, they want to fuck you.
Who you gonna call?
Who you gonna call?
Ghost
Fuckers.
They might have a little bit of an opinion on that in your little sound system. They'd be like, are you doing a show called Ghost Fuckers?
Are you trying to fuck us?
Because we're down.
Can you imagine if
In a
you're
couple
talking to the
decades.
Oculus?
Yeah, the obvious is like, dude, like,
Hey, ghost, can I fuck you? No.
Finding
yeah.
a ghost with like a sense of humor, that'd be sick.
That
though.
would be pretty great.
They have like good jokes.
one
The
time,
manager at Zombie Joe's would have been a sense of humor ghost, I feel. He would let
Yeah.
you fuck him, I feel.
I'm trying to think if there was ever one where there was something funny that happened. Not really.
Yeah, I feel like ghosts are always saying like weird, crazy things.
Yeah, they're
like,
being,
where's the ghost just trying to like prank people or something like that? Or maybe they
Yeah.
are. They like throw things across the room. Like, that's what I would do if I was a ghost. I'd be like, just messing with people the whole time, just laughing.
Yeah, there's really aren't any ghost pranksters anymore.
There really isn't. There was that fucking meme a
was at a
couple of
time.
years ago of like, when are we gonna get like the early 2000s ghosts of like the waking up in the middle of the night where the ghost screams, "It's Britney, bitch!" Like that's what the kind of ghost
That's
that
what
I
I'm saying,
want.
yeah.
honestly.
wanna be
Dude,
the
the
ghost with a
ghost of
sense of
Britney
humor.
Spears would scare the shit out of me, dude.
Should just be dancing.
Dude, she's dancing around with knives
With
and
knives
stuff.
and
like,
shit.
fucking, like,
What's scarier, the real one or the ghost version? I don't even know.
I don't know. I mean, both. Like, I don't know. That would be terrifying. That should be in Scary Movie.
That should
since
be a scary
they're
movie,
remaking
honestly.
that.
They're making a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I think
sick.
I saw a poster for it the other day. I don't know
that
if it was
far
real.
along,
It
huh?
might have been AI.
You never know these days. You got fake trailers, fake posters, fake
Yeah,
everything.
they really do. How do you feel about AI?
I mean, I feel like AI is one of those things where it's like adapt or die. It's like it's coming and it's not going away, no matter even if like they want to put something into a contract or whatever. It's like the technology's gonna grow at like a super fast, rapid pace. So it's like as like a indie filmmaker, you just have to figure out how to use it, and then
Yeah.
like you also have to be careful of like not copyright ripping off people if that AI system uses something. Like I know musicians are having a difficult time because AI can make songs like that. Like
Yeah.
like my friend showed me on his phone, he made like an actual like banger song in like 15 seconds just by giving it like a prompt. So like as long, but I feel like that has to draw like from someone's voice or someone, you know what I mean? So I think once that gets figured out, it'll be interesting. If it is just copyright ripping people off, like that's not cool. But I do feel like the technology's inevitable, and it's like it's better to like figure out how to utilize it rather than like trying to fight against it, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's inevitable, you know? Like it's where the technology's going. So
What if when you die you get to be AI?
Oh,
And then
dude.
like
That was a Johnny Depp movie.
oh
Is
well,
it?
I like my version better.
Okay, tell me your version. Tell me your version, and I'll tell you how
pitch it.
Johnny Depp did it.
Okay,
Yeah.
like someone that makes parody song dies, and now they have to work in the factory,
Okay.
in the
Parody
AI
Song
factory for anyone that is making a song online with their app. And they're stuck in there, and they're like, please let me out. I promise I'll be better. And then it's sort of like hell. And you're working for free. And then eventually you do get to break out once the whole Terminator thing happens.
That would be kind of
Yeah.
rad, actually.
that'd be crazy.
I'd be into
Yeah.
that.
I have a theory where that type of stuff's going. So this
Yeah.
is my far out theory. I'm not sold on this completely, but like, all right. So we've heard of like the metaverse stuff and like all
Yeah.
that. And I used to be big into like blockchain technology and looking into that, right? So like when a person dies, like their brain is usually like the last thing to go, unless they die of like a brain tumor or like a brain disease or something like
Yeah.
that. Like your brain is usually able to like outlive your body. And like where a lot of technology is going is they're trying to figure out how to like do things with our brain, like how to like type on a computer with just like our thoughts type of thing, right? So if they can figure out like almost like a Futurama way where there's like the character that has like its brain in like a little glass jar and like hook up your brain to like some type of technology, for simpler we'll call it like the metaverse type thing,
Yeah.
then like it could be a way for like humans and civilization to like outlive their body, and then we live in some type of like technological thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I think things could possibly go. That's my far out theory.
Oh,
But-
that sounds terrible.
Because then you just be a little glass brain in a jar,
Yeah.
or like the head, or just your head, or something like that.
Or like you're only like visible in the metaverse or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh yeah, I'm
But-
gonna go hang out with my dad.
Exactly.
Like,
That's what I was gonna
you
say.
know,
Is
it's
think
like-
about it like you could like go hang out with someone who their physical being will be dead, other than
Yeah.
like their head or whatever. But you
Yeah.
could go and like hang out with them in the metaverse, and they could live for X amount of years, depending on
Yeah.
their brain and stuff like that.
That's some Lawnmower Man shit. Did you see that movie?
No, I didn't see
That's
that.
essentially what it is.
Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
Yeah.
Damn.
They're living
Oh,
in the
wow.
metaverse.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know.
For some reason, that seems like possible to me, though.
I'm sure it is
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah. Yep. We'll see.
I know. It's like
We did have a list of names that we went through for a while,
like
and I know we never landed on one. Let me look, see if I can find any ghost show.
still saying ghost.
Because you want,
Factor.
I can tell you want something like exciting. Like you don't want like Zach's Ghost Adventures or something like that. Like you want.
That's so. It's a ghost show. We know it's a ghost show.
Oh, they need to know.
Like Zach's Ghost Adventures is too. That's
yeah,
too easy,
that's
right?
like literally Ghost Adventure.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it already is one. Shit.
Yeah, that is actually another Zach's Ghost Adventure.
Is it really?
Yeah,
There's
his
one already
name-
called that.
Well, no, no, I'm just saying in Ghost Adventures, the main guy's name is Zach.
Oh,
so,
wow.
like,
You're battling uphill then. Huh?
yeah, I'm fucked, dude. The Zach ghost space is very small. Like,
Zach Baggins.
Is that a name?
I don't know.
Ghostface is
No,
Ghost-
Space.
That's Scream.
space.
Yeah.
Ghost space. I'd be disappointed we don't go to space.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's tough off the top of the head.
It is top off the top of the head.
Dude, I'm almost like I almost just want to call it like, is it haunted? Question mark. Like,
It's actually really funny. I mean, part of the premise originally that we were going for was like trying to determine like, okay, do we think this place is haunted at the end of the day?
yeah,
Yeah.
So like that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just say stick to the real stuff though. Don't fake anything. That's,
Yeah,
'cause
no,
that's
we don't.
I feel like
No,
I feel
everyone
like
was
I
real,
feel
man.
like- but I feel like that's what happens with all those ghost shows. Is like
Yeah, I mean,
they do
like-
like a couple, like do like their first season, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden they start doing stuff that's a little like,
Yeah.
all right, that seems a little bit like set up or fake or something like that. you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. From what yeah, there's definitely shows that have done that, but I don't want to do that at all.
Yeah.
I want to just go and like see if places are haunted or not.
Yeah.
And then like if they're not, it's just like, fucking myth busted. Like,
Are you gonna stick around the LA, Southern California area, or are you gonna branch out to like other areas?
Ultimately, I would like to go all over. I mean, first we just need to make it a thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like
'Cause if it's,
profitable, and then we can like go like super crazy places. Like, I want to go to other countries and stuff too. Like, I want to do it.
Because you do like ghost hunting in Los Angeles and like ghost hunting in wherever the location may be. Because I feel like people will be tapped into like Los Angeles and like what ghost stories are going on there if you name it something like that. I don't know, something. Or if you want something more provocative than like ghost fuckers or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want it to be ghost fuckers. Actually, I want people to think that we're taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Like there's some funny things that happen.
Yeah.
But like that's what happens when you take a bunch of idiots ghost hunting.
Yeah.
But like, you know, but we do take the actual investigation portion very seriously.
Yeah.
And we're actually just trying to find like, you know, is this place haunted? Like, is there something else out there?
Okay, I found our list of like random ass names.
Oh, let's hear some.
Okay.
There's 20 of them. I'm just gonna go through all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zip them off.
Ghost Seekers, Spirit Sleuths, Haunted Investigations, Phantom Pursuit, Elite. God damn it. ETHEREAL, Ethereal Explorers. We'll never say that.
That's too tough.
Spectral Detectives, which I thought was funny because it rhymed. Otherworldly
Spectral
Inquiries.
detectives?
Spectral Detectives.
Yeah.
Paranormal Probes, which can go either way. Supernatural Surveillance, Ghosts Unveiled, Apparition Adventurers, Mystic Haunt Hunters, Beyond the Veil, Ghost Reconnaissance, Eerie Enigmas.
Is Beyond the Veil not a show?
It is not a show. Phenomenal
Beyond the Veil
Phantoms.
is actually a good name.
Beyond the Veil is pretty good. Chasing Shadows, Soul Searchers, Ghost Revealed, Enigmatic Entities. Hang on, let me look up Beyond the Veil.
Yeah, because if that's
Pierce
not...
the Veil, the band.
Yeah, that's a band. Yeah, I take... Today on Beyond the Veil, we're taking Pierce the Veil ghost hunting.
Okay.
They'd probably be down. They seem cool.
There is a television program called Beyond the Veil from 2023.
No!
But
Damn. Swoop.
it's 6 supernatural stories inspired by different nationalities and things. So, I mean, it's not the same. It's not a ghost hunting show.
You just do Beyond the Veil with Zach. You know, you just add in a little.
Beyond the Veil
Beyond
with
the
Zach holding a meatball.
There you go. All right, remember that one, Beyond the Veil.
Yeah, Beyond
What was
the
the
Veil.
very first one you said too?
I don't fucking know. Hang on.
Terrified testicles or something.
Yeah. There was some kind of weird investigation. one.
Yeah, Investigations is good too.
It is Ghost Seekers.
Ghost Seekers. Okay. Also, I liked Phantom Finders for some reason.
Phantom Finders is a good one.
Yeah.
But apparently that's a cartoon or like a kid's show.
Danny Phantom is a kid's show.
Yeah.
No,
Phantom
Phantom Finders it's like a book or something.
Phantom.
I looked it up and like there is a copyright.
Phantom Finders.
You don't want to be
is
the
a
one
book.
ripping off old IPs, you know, we just criticize that.
Yeah, dude, like I'm over here like, dude, like I'm gonna have to buy the IP.
We had a bunch of other ones with like funny names, but none of them worked for us. I thought, 'cause it
Ghost
wasn't
ass.
funny. Ghostly Grins was like you're fucking right on the same thing.
No, I'm serious though. If there's ever a time to tap in and go with, let me know. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see some stuff. That'd be cool.
I would be down for that. That would be fun. Where are we at on time right now?
You're at 47. I mean, you can.
We can talk.
Not to like say it in front of the guest, but you can wrap up if you want.
I actually had a stupid fucking question to ask.
There we go. Take it back.
Let's go.
Oh my god, what was it? It was like... Oh, yeah, this is so stupid. Would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet? But you still get to so if you have hands for feet, you still have your regular hands.
Okay.
But then if you have feet for hands, you still have your regular feet.
So it's like, do I want to run really fast or do I want to be like a monkey pretty much?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have hands for feet. Because I feel like then I can like do more stuff. If you just have your feet, you can't really do stuff with your thumb. You lose your opposable thumbs, which is like one of the things that makes us like great as humans. So definitely hands for feet, actually.
Yeah.
And you can probably do some crazy stuff.
I feel like, though, if you had feet for hands, if you were really into kicking, that would be cool.
You would do well in a Muay Thai fight, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You'd be bashing everyone.
So does that mean that your arms are now shins? 'Cause
Well,
that
that's a
would
whole
suck.
different thing.
Like,
Yeah, I think that would be a whole different thing. At that
You're like doing handstands everywhere you go.
yeah.
You gotta be really strong. You gotta hit in the gym a lot. That's tough. Still though, I need my thumbs. I need my thumbs for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I wouldn't want to live without my thumbs.
They make us who we are.
Exactly.
Opposable thumbs. There's a song in Good Burger about opposable thumbs.
The second one or the first one?
The first one.
I don't remember the first one that much, honestly. I know. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
what?
I'm so sorry.
Welcome
That's like,
to Good
oh
Burger,
yeah,
home of the Good Burger.
I've
May I
only
take
seen
your
Good
order?
Burger 2, guys. Like, honestly though,
Oh, no.
Good Burger 2 was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. It
I don't know if I've
wasn't
seen
a
this,
good.
It just came out like not too long ago, right?
It,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
I think I've seen
It
it.
wasn't like great, but
That's why they didn't really talk
if
about
you
it again.
if you're a huge fan of just Good Burger in general, it was still. I still laughed. I still had a good time watching it.
Yeah.
I literally watched it with my sisters because we used to watch Good Burger as a kid, and then like we watched it when it came out.
Yeah, the old one's a classic.
So I was
Don't
like,
want it. I mean, I do
yeah.
need to watch it again. The fucking Less Than Jake song from
Yeah.
it is like a banger. I love
Yeah.
that song.
that's good. But yeah. So, is there anything that I ask everyone that comes to the podcast this question?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do every day to make sure you're reaching your maximum potential? It's probably the most serious thing I'll ever ask you on this podcast. I mean, that it is the most serious thing I'm going to ask you on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, recently, definitely, I've just been like trying to like schedule out my weeks. So I guess every day I'm trying to like make sure I get something done that's like making me move further in terms of what I want to do. So whether that be going to the gym, whether that be going and doing some training, whether that be learning some new type of skill set in terms of like, I don't know, like right now I'm on like trying to learn like camera operating stuff. So I understand like new lenses and new stuff like that.
Oh yeah, what camera's this?
That's the Sony. That's
Are
the
you
one.
fucking reading it?
That's the
Get
one for
outta
Good
here.
Podcast. I actually
Okay.
can't see it from here. I know that podcast. They always use Sony though. Am I right? I can see Sony on that one actually.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that then.
I know those are popular.
I was just trying to give you like a test, a pop
but
quiz.
I'll fail the test right now. That's the thing. That's why I'm trying to get better at it. But
Yeah.
but those types of things, just
Is
like
that a GoPro?
Yes, it is a GoPro.
now, I'm just trying to like learn new things and get better at things that I'm already doing and that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
not one particular thing every day that I do necessarily. Like, I'm not like I take cold showers when I wake up or anything like that. Like,
You're
no,
not
I like my
bathing
my,
in
Good,
Saratoga
you're not a
water or
sociopath.
anything.
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
God.
I'm not doing
Yeah.
any of that. But just like consistently doing something every day, and the plan always changes, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always been kind of like an adaptable person, and like, all right, I need to go do this, but I go and do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to not rest on my laurels and just keep doing things. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's great, dude. Just side note, speaking of Saratoga water,
Yeah.
I tried to do that and like I poured it in my eyes and I didn't know it was sparkling and it burnt the fuck out of my eyes, dude. It
That's
hurt
pretty
so
fucked.
bad.
So that
And,
guy's
like-
definitely faking that.
Yeah, well, like unless
Saratoga makes a still water too, but he got this.
they only had sparkling.
Oh,
when I
you did
fucking bought it.
sparkling water?
It fucking burned, dude.
I bet that burned.
We found that out after we got the Saratoga.
Yeah.
We got the sparkling ones. But he
Yeah.
was going to Still Mountain.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
doing like regular tap water. You're pouring like LaCroix in your eyes or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
it was bad, dude. LaCroix doesn't. I mean, the only hole that it's good for LaCroix to go into is your mouth, and I've learned that the hard way.
Happens.
We all have life lessons sometimes.
Yeah, no, because I filled a bathtub with LaCroix once, and it burned.
And you jumped into it?
Yeah, no, I was just in there. Yeah,
Damn,
making
yeah.
a video.
You're doing some crazy shit with sparkling water, dude. I didn't even think of all this
Yeah,
stuff.
dude. Yeah, I've delved into sparkling water that you guys couldn't even comprehend. Like,
True innovator.
yeah. You know, but you have anything you want to plug?
Aside from your butthole when sparkling water.
Oh, what are we talking about plugging here?
Yeah.
For me, I'm Dom Hecht, so just, look me up, connect with me there. Other than that, just look out for what's coming. I'm just constantly trying to create new content, do cool stunts, make films. So hopefully more to come on that end, and hopefully we can work together on something.
Hell yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I'd be super down for that. That would be sick.
Hell yeah.
But thank you so much for coming on the pod, dude. That was great. That was
Thank you,
fun.
dude. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for having me. It means a lot.
Oh yeah. And everyone, thanks for watching, and stay maximum or don't.
Appreciate
It's your
y'all.
choice.